Hi, my name is James Holman, and today we're going to be talking about determining moisture levels in hay using a microwave. This visual presentation is a supplement to the final documents I produced on how to ensure baling quality while using modernized equipment. So let's get started. So why would we use a microwave? Well, knowing the moisture content in all stages of the baling process is extremely important. This is because if you manipulate the hay with machinery at too low of a moisture content, you will deprive nutrients out of your finalized product because they will break apart and you'll lose leaves, which are the primary component in all the nutrients. However, if you bale at too high of a moisture level, it can actually mold the bale, whereas in some rare cases, if you get some thermophilic bacteria inside the bale, it will heat the bale hot enough that they will just spontaneously combust. So our field is Bermuda hay, and we have to aim between a 16 and 18% moisture level. Now the common method to gauge moisture level by most people is just go out and feel it. This method is not very accurate, so we use a microwave technique which usually takes less than 10 minutes to attain an accuracy of plus or minus 2%. So there's some items you need to collect to do this. You'll need a microwave. If it's variable setting, it helps a lot. You'll need to go out and collect different samples throughout your field. This is just one sample. You want it to be representative of your entire field though. Make sure to dig all the way down to the ground level, because the closer it is to the ground, the wetter it will be. You'll need a microwave safe container that's porous to kind of wick away the water as it evaporates. So I use a coffee filter. You can also use a brown paper sack. You'll need a scale. The more accurate it is, the better. So that's why I use a reloading scale. I can get down to hundredths of a gram. You'll need scissors to cut the hay up. You'll need a cup of water just to save your microwave from burning up. A notepad to take down all your measurements, and a calculator in computation. Alright, now before you start drying, you need to note the weight of the empty container, because this will be deducted at the end of the process. Next, you'll cut your hay into 1 to 2 inch pieces, because this will allow you to more easily fit them into your container, while also allowing the hay to dry out faster. Next, you'll ensure that a cup of water is in the microwave before you start actually using it, and you'll get started. Now, getting to 0% moisture can take a little bit of time. You can see my data sheet on the left of how much time it actually took. What you're looking for is for numbers to start repeating at the end. You can notice that my last two measurements repeated, meaning there's no more moisture to evaporate out of the hay anymore, meaning that we're at 0% hypothetically. So by having that result, we can do the computations. So the equation is you take the initial weight minus the final weight, divided by the initial weight minus your container weight, times 100, and it will give you your percentage of moisture in the hay. So for that specific example of hay, we had a 37.11% moisture content. Now the question is, what do we do with this number? Well, for this specific example, it was the day after the cutting, so we were going to ted the hay. Noticing how dry it already was, we decided to rake it into windrows. This potentially saved us up to 11% of our dry matter, which is the final product of the baling process. Our 6 acres that next day produced 154 bales. So by assuming that we would have lost 11%, which would have been 17 bales of that, we saved ourselves $85. Now, additionally, this did save us a lot more because it allowed us to bale a day earlier. The day that we were going to initially bale it ended up raining, which would have made us lose a lot more hay, and allowed us to keep more leaves on the bale, which would produce a more nutritious bale. Now, so for our specific example, this worked great. So hopefully after hearing this, you can take it to heart that this does improve your bale quality. It will help you produce more hay by knowing the exact moisture content. And while there are different methods to determine moisture content, this is something that's very easily done, and that if you do bale hay, that you start to do this. Thank you for your time.